rectors, presidents, and vice chancellors together. And we discussed all kind of collaboration. And the second was held in Amman 2014. The third one was held just last year in Barcelona again. And this year, 2017, we are going to have the fourth ASU meeting, the fourth Arab-European Conference in Higher Education is going to be held in Morocco at Mohammed V University, where we are expecting 300 rectors, vice chancellors, and presidents from both regions, from the Arab region as well as from the European side. Also, we have been working with, during the last 5 years, with the Malaysian universities. We had the first conference 2014, and last year we had the second conference. We worked with the Chinese. We had 2 conferences. Just last year we had the second conference in Amman in Jordan, and we work with the Turkish universities. We work with the German universities, and now we are debating and talking to our colleagues from South America and from Latin America. We believe internationalization is very important to our region. We have to learn from the others because the others have learned from us. If we go back in the 8th century, when the first ever university was established, as Zaytuna University in Tunisia, that's 734 AD. This is 350 years before, Your Excellency, the Ambassador, this is 350 years before Bologna University. Bologna University established 1088. 350 years, we had the first ever university, it was in Tunisia. We had the second one, Al-Qarawiyyin University in Morocco. We had the third one in Egypt, Al-Azhar Sharif, Al-Mustansiriya, Al-Kufa in Iraq, and some universities in Andalus at that time. And you people from Europe that time, you used to come to the south and study in our universities. And a lot of our books that time translated to different languages in Europe. And that's how the civilization in Europe started. Nowadays, yes, we learn from you. And that's what we should do. Education, scientific research should not have borders. And that's what we are learning from each other. Today, we are witnessing signing the Memorandum of Cooperation between Cardiff Metropolitan University and Applied Science University. This will bring certain programs, accounting and public administration. This will not help only the Bahraini students. This will help Arab students to come and study in Bahrain, as well as other students from outside the Arab world. And this is a very important event. We are at the Association of Arab Universities. We are really proud, and really we help and we support such initiatives like this. We wish the Applied Science University the best of success, and also we wish the agreement to extend even to other universities in the region. Yes, we do. We know that Cardiff Metropolitan University have a great relationship with Lebanon now, and also just last week we had a ceremony in the Sultanate of Oman. Therefore, I am really optimistic that Cardiff Metropolitan University will work with us and will work for the future of our generation. Wish all of you the best and the success. ونتمنى لكم جميعا التوفيق والنجاح والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
And now, it's time to welcome our rock and the jewel of this university, Professor Ghassan Fuad Awar, President of Applied Science University, to give his speech.
You are most welcome, Your Excellency, Dr. Abdelghani. Your first visit to Applied Science University is an honor for us. And Dr. Sultan, of course, His Excellency has been here many times, and our colleagues from Cardiff Met, you are most welcome, Professor Kara and Professor Muhammad Lutfi. And of course, we have the President of the Students' Council, and some Students' Council members, and some students as well. And we are here to serve our students. They are our sons and daughters, so many thanks for your help. And many thanks for everybody who helped with organizing this event here. My colleagues from various divisions, I know, Tanya, you work so hard on coordinating this event. I'm going to do a very short PowerPoint presentation. It's not death by PowerPoint, but I want to do something different. And you can see, as His Excellency the British Ambassador mentioned, We have just completed 200 years of celebrations, and Professor Wahib made reference to it. These two kingdoms, you can see the flags, animated flags. They are very close to my heart, and I'm very proud of this innovation there, in fact. I think the relationship lasted 200 years because of trust and professionalism, and we hope our relationship with Cardiff Met will be based on trust and supporting each other. And really, we're trying today to implement, to a large extent, from our side, the vision of Professor Wahib Khaja, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, his great support. I know he works day and night for the benefits of the university, the students, the community in Bahrain and the Arab region, and the whole world, in fact. Now, if the technology works, and it doesn't. So this is our, what we call it, strategy house. This is our building. This is the ASU building, and it shows our mission and our strategic objectives, which are based around the core activities, teaching and learning, research, and community engagement, of course, supported by student support, internationalization, quality assurance, and sustainability growth. We are a private university. We want to make money, for sure, but quality is at the heart of what we do. And this vision was developed with the help of our students, in fact, who took part in various workshops in the university, and our industry stakeholders. We rely heavily on Vision 2030, the excellent strategies by the Higher Education Council, the Higher Education Strategy, and the Research Strategy. Believe me, I read, when I came to Bahrain, the two documents were released, the Higher Education Strategy and the Research Strategy. I read them word by word. And to me, top quality, international, for sure. So we're helping today, at least in part, implementing the internationalization element of what's in the strategy itself. You can see our values are based around integrity, collaboration and team spirit, loyalty, social responsiveness and community engagement, and quality. Now, some key facts about the university. It was established in 2014. Until the end of the last semester, we had 3,020 students. We have about 200 plus academic and support staff, and total undergraduate and postgraduate program 14, hopefully with Cardiff Met now and London South Bank will add 7 more programs. We have 22 nationalities represented in staff. So you can see it's a very cosmopolitan place. People love to live and work in Bahrain. It's a very, very peaceful country. It's the vision of His Majesty the King, coexistence and peace and loving each other. Now, we are very proud of our achievement in the Higher Education Academy. We have just achieved 21 fellows and senior fellows, and some of our colleagues are here today. We're going to embark on more activities to train our staff to become fellows of the Higher Education Academy. So there will be more training provided. This is our structure, typical university where we love boxes, but you can see from the Board of Directors, Board of Trustees, we have some, Sir Muhammad Ahmed today from the Board of Trustees and Sir Muhammad Khaja from the Board of Directors. It's typical what happened in any British university almost, where you have research, teaching, and community engagement. And you can see we have 3 colleges, College of Administrative Sciences, where the 2 programs of Cardiff Met will be housed, College of Law, College of Art and Science, and there will be the College of Engineering established from September 2017, inshallah. And the various deanship and activities. I'll move on. Now, we mentioned the future program, 5 engineering program with London South Bank, and 2 management and business studies, accounting and finance with Cardiff Met, September 2017. Now, we see our collaboration with Cardiff Met based around at least more than teaching, for sure. It's not just about students. It's about research to support our teaching, which can support our students, innovation, entrepreneurship, internationalization, and capacity building, where you can help us to develop capacities in some areas. And I'm sure Professor Kara will cover some of these aspects. I have to tell the story of the king and the toaster. For the people who have heard it, I feel sorry for you. You may have heard it 300 times. Ustaz Muhammad, alhamdulillah. At least I have somebody in the audience who have not heard the story. And he's on the Board of Trustees, a very important person for us. So there was a king who wanted a toaster. he asked an innovator, somebody who's going to be studying on this joint program with Cardiff Met, and a bureaucrat to produce it for him. So the students who are studying on the Cardiff Met program went home, designed the toaster, manufactured it, tested it, he put some bread, it was working. He got toasted bread. He went to the king early morning, said, "King, here is the toaster." The king plugged it in, put some bread, he got toasted bread. The king was over the moon. The student was over the moon because the king is very happy. The bureaucrat disappeared for 20 years and came back with big plans and came to the king, said, "King, here is the design of the toaster. You can use it as a toaster, you can use it as a hairdryer, you can use it as a coffee machine." And the story ended by saying the king decided to imprison the innovator, the bureaucrat, and they all lived happily ever after. So the message all the time to our students in particular, please be pragmatic in life. We want quality, but we want to deliver. So it's really, really important for us. Our relationship with Cardiff Met, as Professor Sultan mentioned, started maybe a long time ago. But over the last 2 years, we have developed the two programs. I had the pleasure in visiting Cardiff Met many, many times. And the first time I met Professor Kara, she was new president and vice chancellor of Cardiff Met. We were sitting next to each other. And she told me she was at the faculty of the Built Environment, University of West of England. And we had so many common friends. So it clicked very, very quickly. I was in Oman last week. We came on the same flight this morning, in fact, from Oman. I attended their conference in Oman. We feel now we are true partners working to develop the partnership and embrace, hopefully, more programs in the future. Thank you for listening.
We are honored to have our distinguished guest, Professor Kara Etchison, the President and Vice Chancellor of Cardiff Metropolitan University, who traveled long distances to participate and share with us our unforgettable moment. Let's all welcome her on the stage.
Your Excellency, British Ambassador, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's probably quite difficult to follow Professor Ghassan, my new best friend, but I'll do my very best. As President and Vice Chancellor of Cardiff Metropolitan University, it's my great privilege and pleasure to be here today at this important moment in both of our histories. And it's probably worth pointing out that both Professor Ghassan and I are both fairly new Vice-Chancellors in our respective institutions. And this initiative predates our arrival, so we actually inherited this fantastic new development. And I think we've heard already that it's been in the making for some 2.5 years. And the world has changed quite dramatically in that time. And I'm sure it was a very relevant initiative at the time of its inception. And we've heard how it came about, and we owe thanks to our colleagues for the great ideas 2.5 years ago. But of course, in that time, much has changed, and we, I think, heard about many of those changes through our British Prime Minister's visit recently to Bahrain and the new relationship that we're trying to develop between our two countries, which will be very relevant as Bahrain moves towards its 2030 vision of a knowledge economy, and as the UK moves, perhaps in a different way in terms of its relationship with Europe, and, obviously a different relationship with other parts of the world. So I think this is a very relevant initiative for both of us. And during those same 2 years, we've begun to think quite differently about internationalization. And I think this was a very interesting history lesson, the history of the university in the world. And if we've moved perhaps from an era where Europeans were moving to receive education in North Africa, the Arab region, the Gulf, to perhaps over the last century, people from this region moving to Europe and the US and sometimes Australia, really where we should be moving is to a mutual movement, a dialogue, a mobility in perhaps equal terms. So within Cardiff Metropolitan University, we've developed a number of very high quality partnerships with selected reputable universities. And of course, the Applied Science University here in Bahrain is one such institution. And our real objective is to get a flow of students moving between and across our different institutions. And then we can share best practice, we can share the new developments in education, both in pedagogy and in the underpinning research, so that we learn from each other. It's not necessarily a case of one country giving knowledge to another. It has to be about an exchange. So this is a really exciting development for us. We have in Cardiff Metropolitan the third highest percentage of international students of any UK university, and we're very proud of that. Many of those students are based around the world in different institutions, and we would like these students to develop relationships with each other and with the UK, and we would very much like many of our UK students to come and benefit from an experience in Bahrain. And I think this will help, and we've seen this with students who have traveled and studied abroad. They come back with new ideas, they come back with a new energy, they come back better able to influence intercultural relations around the world. And the British ambassador pointed to our employability rate for our students, and it is something that we're very proud of. 96% of our students are in work or further study 6 months after graduation. It is one of the highest rates in the UK. And we know within the UK, and there's now a strong body of evidence to support this, that students are more likely to get into employment, they're more likely to get into graduate employment, meaningful jobs, if they have had an international experience as part of their degree. So we're very keen to see a flow of students between our two countries, and this should be possible because the program is the same program. It has a little addition at the beginning, but it's the same program that we offer in Cardiff. So there's no reason why we can't have that flow of students, and I would really welcome that, and I look forward to receiving students from Bahrain into the UK, into Cardiff, and really to helping both of our countries establish these new agendas and these new positions within our rapidly changing world. So I really welcome this development. I think it's been a great privilege for me to inherit this, and I do have to give credit to Professor Mohammed Lutfi. He is our international man, he is our global ambassador, and I very much enjoyed working with him on this and our other initiatives across the Gulf. And I think it's been very interesting for me, certainly, over the last few days, to see the partnerships between the countries across this region. Very strong partnerships, very strong bonds, and I think lots that we can learn in the UK from this region. So thank you very much for the invitation. It's a great honour, a great privilege. I very much enjoyed your company in Cardiff back in November, where we compared notes about all of our former colleagues. And I think it just goes to show how well connected we are across the world. So I'd like to thank Professor Wahib, Professor Ghassan for your hospitality in this visit and for our ongoing partnership. It will go from strength to strength, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we all been waiting for, which makes us closer to achieve our goal, the signing ceremony between ASU and Cardiff Metropolitan University. Let us put our hands together and welcome to the stage Dr. Abdel Ghani Saleh Al-Shawikh, His Excellency Simon Martin, Professor Sultan Abu Arabi, Professor Wahib Ahmed Al-Khaja, Professor Ghassan Fuad Awad, Professor Kara Atchison, and Professor Mohammed Lutfi to start the signing ceremony. Applied Science University would like to give a token of appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Abdul Ghani Saleh al-Shuwaykh, the Secretary General of the Higher Education Council. His Excellency Simon Martin, the British Ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain. Professor Sultan Abu Arabi, the Secretary General of the Association of Arab Universities. Professor Cara Atchison, President and Vice Chancellor of Cardiff Metropolitan University. Professor Mohammed Lutfi, Pro Vice Chancellor of Cardiff Metropolitan University. There is another token of appreciation, but this time from Cardiff Metropolitan University, dedicated to Applied Science University.